Triple H and Randy Orton's rivalry is one of the most intense, personal, and underrated feuds in WWE history. Let's break down this heated rivalry, starting from its roots and evolution and culminating in WrestleMania 25. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for Wrestle Theory, your ultimate source for everything WWE. The story begins in 2004 when Randy Orton was part of Evolution, a faction led by Triple H, and featuring Ric Flair and Batista.
The group was aptly named Evolution.
Under their guidance, Orton became the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in WWE history at the age of 24. But his victory was short-lived. After his historic win, Triple H, driven by jealousy and power, turned on Orton. Batista hoisted Orton onto his shoulders in celebration, only for Triple H to deliver a shocking thumbs-down gesture, signaling the brutal betrayal. Orton was kicked out of Evolution, and this marked the beginning of their bitter rivalry. By 2004, Orton realized he needed to forge his own path. He later formed his faction, The Legacy, featuring Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. This group became a key element in his feud with Triple H, as they often outnumbered and ambushed the game. Orton's transformation from the legend killer to a cold, calculated leader added layers to his character and intensified his clashes with Triple H. On Monday Night Raw, Stephanie McMahon, acting as the show's general manager, made it clear she had no patience for Randy Orton's arrogance and lack of respect. Their tension came to a head in a backstage confrontation where Stephanie slapped Randy, setting off a chain of events that would embroil the entire McMahon family. Things took a more dramatic turn when Vince McMahon himself stepped into the ring to address Orton. Vince, never one to mince words, accused Randy of riding on the coattails of his father, Cowboy Bob Orton. Vince declared that Bob only found success because of him, and without that, Randy wouldn't even be standing in the WWE ring.
Put the spotlight on him. I made your dad a superstar. Had I not done that, you wouldn't be standing here right now.
This public insult pushed Randy over the edge, and he snapped, launching a vicious and shocking attack on Vince in the ring. Randy quickly realized he might have made the biggest mistake of his career. Randy Orton's victory at the 2009 Royal Rumble was a pivotal moment in his career, but it was overshadowed by the shocking events that followed. Standing in the ring with his lawyers by his side, Orton made a jaw-dropping revelation. He was suffering from intermittent explosive disorder, IDE, a medical condition that, according to him, caused his uncontrollable outbursts of violence. This announcement served as his defense for the brutal attack on Vince McMahon, claiming that he wasn't fully in control of his actions. Orton then declared that his Royal Rumble win guaranteed him a main event spot at WrestleMania, and he warned Vince and the WWE management that any attempts to fire him would result in lawsuits that could derail the biggest event of the year. With his legal team backing him, Orton essentially held the WWE hostage. The situation escalated when Orton and his legacy faction, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, targeted the McMahon family. In a shocking display of dominance, Orton and his allies defeated Shane McMahon in the ring. However, Orton took things a step further when he delivered an RKO to Stephanie McMahon, leaving her motionless in the ring. This act of violence against his wife sent Triple H into a blind rage. The WWE Universe watched in stunned silence as a furious and emotional Triple H stormed the arena, hunting Orton down. The tension between the two reached a boiling point on Monday Night Raw, where they faced off armed with sledgehammers. Randy, in a rare show of restraint, proposed they settle things like men, and both men discarded their weapons. But Triple H, ever the cerebral assassin, had a second hammer hidden. What followed was an unforgettable chase, with Orton desperately fleeing as Triple H, consumed by rage, tore through everything in his path. This segment was one of the most intense moments in Raw history, showcasing the deeply personal and unrelenting hatred between these two WWE legends. As the rivalry between Randy Orton and Triple H intensified, the personal animosity spilled out of the ring and into Orton's private life. In one of the most shocking moments of their feud, Orton was at home with his wife when Triple H decided to send a chilling message. On a Monday Night Raw where Cody Rhodes secured a victory due to Triple H's absence, the reason for the game's no-show became clear. What followed was utter chaos. Triple H smashed through Orton's house, destroying everything in his path. The intensity peaked when Triple H found Orton, dragging him through the chaos and hurling him out of his own house's window. This act wasn't just a warning, it was a declaration that their feud had gone beyond titles and matches. It had become deeply personal. The tension reached another high point when Triple H exacted brutal revenge on Cody Rhodes during a steel cage match, delivering a beating so severe that it left Orton and Ted DiBiase helpless to intervene. But Orton wasn't finished. He and Legacy managed to ambush Triple H, trapping him in handcuffs during a subsequent Raw episode. With Triple H defenseless in the ring, Orton committed one of the most vile acts in WWE history. Stephanie McMahon came to the ring, only to be savagely attacked by Orton in front of her handcuffed husband. The moment turned even more sinister as Orton, staring into Triple H's helpless eyes, delivered a kiss to Stephanie, taunting the game in the cruelest way imaginable. This was no longer just a feud, it was a psychological war. All roads led to WrestleMania 25, where the stakes couldn't have been higher. Triple H entered the match not just for revenge, but to defend the honor of his family. It was a showdown fueled by hatred, with the WWE Universe watching every moment in awe of the sheer brutality and personal animosity that had consumed both men. The heated rivalry reached its climax at WrestleMania 25, where Triple H and Randy Orton finally collided in a match that embodied their deeply personal grudge. The bout wasn't just about championships, it was a culmination of months of escalating tension, betrayal, and psychological warfare. Despite Orton's attempts to manipulate and control the pace, Triple H ultimately got his revenge using a sledgehammer and a pedigree to claim victory and retain his title, much to the delight of the WWE Universe. The Triple H versus Randy Orton feud wasn't just about titles or dominance, it was deeply personal. From Evolution's betrayal to Orton's attacks on the McMahon family, every chapter of their rivalry felt real and intense. Orton's calculated mind games and Triple H's relentless quest for vengeance created moments that are still talked about today. That wraps up today's deep dive into one of WWE's most intense rivalries. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Wrestle Theory and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest uploads. Stay tuned for more iconic moments, shocking twists, and the greatest stories in wrestling history.